Has Kaspa already had its day, or is it gearing up for something massive that most people are overlooking? Because right now, a lot of people, especially here on YouTube, are writing it off. They're saying Kaspa has peaked, the hype's over, the price has stalled, the market's moved on. But I think they're missing the bigger picture. And if you've been holding or watching from the sidelines, then there's one date that you need to have in mind, and that date is May the 5th. So let's break this down. First up, we're going to talk about Kaspa's price history from obscurity to the top 30. So let's start with where Kaspa came from. Kaspa launched quietly in late 2021. No VC backing, no flashy ICO, no centralized hype machine. Just a group of developers building something completely different. A block DAG, not a traditional blockchain, and it was designed for speed, decentralization and scalability. Now back then, Kaspa was trading for fractions of a cent, and hardly anyone was talking about it. But over time, the narrative started to spread. Fastest proof of work chain, instant confirmations, no mempool, 1 second block times, fully decentralized. And slowly, organically, the price began to climb. In 2023, it broke the 1 cent mark, then 3 cents, then 5, and eventually Kaspa peaked at around 21 cents, pushing its way into the top 30 by market cap. And that's a ridiculous climb for a coin with zero hype budget. But as with every rally in crypto, the momentum cooled off. And now Kaspa's sitting at under the all-time high, which leads us onto the next part of the story. A lot of people now say that was it, that was Kaspa's big run, the cycle's over, the top is in. Especially when you look around at other projects, meme coins doing 10x in a week, AI tokens pumping purely off narratives, and layer 2 ecosystems launching daily. Kaspa, by comparison, looks quiet, too quiet if you ask the skeptics. They'll tell you things like it doesn't have smart contracts or it doesn't have a DeFi ecosystem. It's just fast proof of work. What else is there? But here's the thing, Kaspa's never been about hype. It's never promised to be the next Ethereum. It's promised to be one thing, and that is the fastest, most secure base layer in crypto. And that's why May the 5th really matters. So on May 5th, Kaspa is rolling out the Crescendo Upgrade, and this is going to be huge. It introduces block header pruning, a massive step forward in how the network handles data and scalability. Now, I know that sounds technical, but here's what it means in plain English. Kaspa nodes will no longer need to store full blocks to validate the chain. They'll be able to verify transactions using lightweight data, just the headers, and that massively reduces storage and makes it easier for anyone to run a node. In other words, more decentralization, more scalability, and lots more efficiency. And this upgrade is what allows Kaspa to keep growing without turning into some bloated, centralized mess. And once it goes live, it opens the door for real layer 2 development. And that's something that a lot of Kaspa followers and supporters in the community have been really waiting for. Because now you've got a trustless, scalable base layer that's fast enough to handle it. This isn't just an update, it's a solid foundation. And that's just one of the many benefits of this Crescendo upgrade. On top of that, we've got all sorts of other things. You know, we've got block creation going from 1 block per second to 10 blocks per second, which is absolutely insane. And then we've got a lightweight wallet solution, and then we've got scalability, and we've got DeFi, layer 2, dApps, all sorts of stuff going on, but we'll talk about these things in future videos. So what happens next? Well, if Crescendo launches smoothly, if layer 2 start experimenting on top of Kaspa, and if there are more people who start understanding the difference between speed hype and protocol depth, then yeah, we could absolutely see new all-time highs. Now the price right now is hovering around about the 8, 9, 10 cents mark. From here, we're looking at a 100% jump just to get back to that 20 cents that I was at all-time high previously. But I think that's almost a certainty. Beyond that, 30 cents, 50 cents, even $1 are all on the table if Kaspa becomes the backbone layer that it's aiming to be. And of course, nothing is guaranteed. And that brings me to my next point, which is the 2025 bull run myth. Now, I talked about this a few times before, and I'll say it again now. Just because something has happened multiple times before, 3 times, 4 times, whatever it is, there's no guarantee that it's going to happen a 4th time or a 5th time. Everyone's been waiting for the 2025 bull run like it was going to be a massive carbon copy of 2017 or 2021, but just look around, the bull run's not the same. We've had a few pumps here and there, but no parabolic blow up that people were expecting, no life-changing altcoin season, or at least not just yet. And that's why I warned people last year, don't assume history will repeat itself just because you wanted to. That's not how markets work. Cycles change, narratives shift. This cycle might be longer or slower or even more fragmented. And Kaspa, unlike many projects, is building through that uncertainty. No hype, no VC push, just tech, miners and a solid community. So what are my final thoughts? Has Kaspa had its day? Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's seriously just getting started. May the 5th could be the spark that reignites interest in what Kaspa is doing, not just as a coin, but as a solid platform. And when the rest of the market realizes what's been happening behind the scenes, they might just come running back. But by then, it might be too late. Anyway, as always, do your own research. It's not financial advice. I never try and give you financial advice, but I will leave you with this. Sometimes the loudest coins aren't the ones that survive. Sometimes it's those sleeping giants, the quiet ones, the ones that just build. They're the ones that end up rewriting the rules. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you holding Kaspa? Do you believe in the May the 5th upgrade? Or do you think Kaspa has already had its moment? Either way, the next chapter is gonna soon begin and we'll see what happens with Kaspa.